everybody. Welcome to the show. You know where you are, 9 at 9 with me, Tigo. And you know I love bringing experts to the stage, and they're always from different walks of life, and they share their trailblazing stories. But very few, if any, have been here where their trailblazing story is all about sharing stories. Now, what the heck am I talking about now? You're going to have to sit right there, and we'll show you in a minute. We'll be right back.
Expert Talk is sponsored by Pod Nation TV, the podcast to broadcast network.
All right, you heard me. Yeah, we're going to talk about storytelling, but not the way we usually talk about it. You know, we're not going to talk about the fact that you're leaving money on the table if you're not sharing your story in video or audio or, I don't know, with a flag outside your house. We're going to talk about actual storytelling that turns into filmmaking, documentaries. And in order to do that, I had to ask my good friend, Danielle Watkins, to come here and say, what's up? BD, you out there?
Hey, what's up, everyone? I am here.
So what's going on, man? I know you as, you know, the filmmaker. It's pretty much how we introduce you in a crowd, you know. And right. This is Mary, this is John, this is Bob, and this is BD. She makes movies. But how did you get into that industry in the first place?
Well, I have been a professional writer since 2011. So this is going on, 11 years, 12 years, whatever. Yeah, because last year was 10 years. So it's going on 11 years since I wrote my first novel. About a year and a half after my first 3 came out, I was conned by one of my friends to being in a screenwriting competition that I lost. They were like, you know, you're really good at writing. You should do this. And I completely lost. However, I was able to use that script to become the head of script development and creative writing for Empower Productions out of Atlanta, Georgia. Within a year of that, I became the president of the board for that production company. Fast forward to 2014, I started my own production company here in Las Vegas, and I have been making movies ever since.
See, now I have known you for several years now.
Yes.
And I always, you know, she's the filmmaker. We know that. I'm the talk show person. She's the filmmaker. This is what we do, right? Never knew you had like a real job doing this with like real companies.
Yes.
I just thought you loved Atlanta when you filmed down there.
I wish I hate Atlanta. That's why I still live in Vegas.
Okay, we're not even going to go there because I don't want the ATL coming to Vegas to get me. So we're going to leave that alone. But let me ask you something. Somebody's out there in between laughing at us. They're going, wait. How do I get started, you know, writing my first book? What would be your suggestion?
My suggestion is always do it. Right. So now, you know, all these years later, I've become a writing coach. And a lot of times I have to tell my clients, just get the story out. Get it out. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to sound perfect the first time. Writing is rewriting. But in order to become a writer, you have to write something. Get the story out. Put it on a piece of paper. Put it in your notes in your phone. Get the story out of you. And then worry about making it make sense after it's out.
Okay, so one of my mentors says, you know, don't ask for advice from your friends and family. You know, go and find a professional and get, you know, consultation with them because they're going to guide you in the right direction. Right. So this person is starting to write and they think they have something really great. Now, before they get 15 chapters in, should they be reaching out to someone like yourself to say, hey, am I going in the right direction? So they're not rewriting from the start?
That's hard to say because everybody has their own process, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, like when I'm novel writing, which is completely different than screenwriting, when I'm novel writing, each piece that I write, I go back and reread and rewrite and edit as I'm going because the novel can be so extensive. Screenwriting, however, no. Write the movie, go back and do it again because some scenes may not be need to be rewritten, some may. But if you're looking to be guided overall in your writing throughout your entire process, you should have a mentor. You should have somebody just to say, hey, this is what I'm thinking about. Because a mentor will never tell you to change your story. It's all about your approach and your fundamentals in writing.
Wow. Okay. So now we're going to skip a little bit and this person's finished their novel. Right. And somebody has read it, probably their mom, cousin, sister, or brother. And they said, oh my God, it's awesome. Right. You should make this a movie. And they go, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then they think they can just call a production company and say, hey, I got this great book. I want to make it a movie. Who do I call? And they say, don't call BD. No, I'm kidding. They say, wait a second. You have steps in between before you can make this a film. What is the next step after their novel is done?
It depends, because they can publish their novel, right? Because some publishing companies offer you the space to put it in front of production companies to get options. Mm-hmm. It depends on who you go with, right? Depends on who you publish with. If you decide not to publish, it needs to be in script form. What you don't need to do is walk into a production company office with a novel and say, hey, read this and tell me if you think it should be a movie. That's not how it's gonna work, because I'm gonna laugh. You come in my office. However, if you have a screenplay and on the front of it says based on a novel, we get an understanding. Okay, there's another piece to this.
And for the people out there that don't know the difference between a book and a screenplay, can you just kind of give them the 101 of that?
Yes, a book is something that you find in Barnes & Noble that's bound together, that has X amount of pages and chapters, and is told in first or second person or third person, depends on how you're writing it, point of view. A screenplay, however, is no more than 120 pages. A screenplay is broken down into actions and dialogue, and that's it.
Wow. Okay, so now this person has done this. They've written the novel. Right. They published it on Amazon. They became the #1 whatever in their category. They're super, super happy. They're telling everybody, and they're starting to tour on stages. Now they've gotten a screenplay written, and they go, okay, the screenplay is written. I am ready to go. How do I rent cameras and do this? Right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would suggest just bring your own camera and doing it, unless you know what you're doing. I make movies. I don't touch the camera. We had to go to Chicago and film a documentary over the summer last year, and my cameraman couldn't go, and they sent us with the cameras, and we don't have sound for that interview. I'm not the person for that. If you don't know what you're doing, I don't suggest it. I don't know anything about the settings. I was calling our cameraman, who is my cousin. I'm like, hey, what does your camera look like when you do this? Because I don't know.
No.
Not for me. I don't suggest it. However, you can get a team. I made my first movie on $400. My DP for my first movie filmed Game of Thrones. Please understand, if you want to make art, you can make art. I had $400. My first movie aired in film festivals all over the world.
Wow. I got 5 on it. Can we do one with 5? I mean, never mind.
Honestly, you can, though. If you find people who enjoy the art, because there are a lot of people out here for the money. But if you find somebody that enjoys the art of the filmmaking, you can get it done.
Okay, so now we have to skip ahead, because I know we already got the 2-minute warning. Alan's going to cut us off. And I know that, you work for a television network as well, correct?
Yes.
And what's that network again?
iElevate Plus TV.
Okay, see, iElevate Plus TV has probably been going back and forth on the screen as we were talking. But people are driving and they're trying to write down, and I don't want anybody having an accident trying to remember that. So iElevate Plus TV. Now, when somebody has their finished product and they're ready to pitch this product, how do they do that? Do they just go to that website, or do you suggest they go to Netflix? How do they get started?
Come to us. I'm the chief programmer, right? So if you send it to me, I'm the first person to see it anyway. I'm the licensed content coordinator anyway. So if you have something that's done and ready, send it to me. If it's good, we're going to publish it. We're going to put it out. We're not going to say no. So send it to us. Have enough confidence in your work that I will have confidence in your work.
Ooh. No, she didn't say that and come in and say that today. That's what I'm talking about. So do you work with mainly fiction, nonfiction, action? What is your specialty?
Everything.
Everything. And real quick, because he just gave us the minute warning, tell us what the specialty is of your network.
especially
iElevate Plus
other
TV.
network is for Black filmmakers and Black LGBTQ filmmakers to have a space to tell their stories.
I love this girl. All right, BD Watkins, I want you to come back. We got so much to talk about. We kind of went over the 10,000 foot view of what filmmaking is, and maybe you can come back and we can really dig in on maybe just writing or just screenplays or production 101. What do you think?
Let's do it. Just tell me when.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you so much for being on the show. You are the best.
Thank you for having me.
All right, everybody, you know what I'm going to say now. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you'll be back next time. And right now, it looks like tomorrow. And as always, I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time.